So I had a ton of things to get to today. I did not get to them because I put everything aside because of the breaking news that we had. This is what we do. But I did want to have Kevin come in to talk about some of the issues happening in the world, tech news. We don't want to cheat that because there's so much happening. We get involved in it every day. Everyone, our cell phones, our new watches, and the computers and everything. So I appreciate your being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Technology follows you everywhere. You got to pay attention to it.
All right. Okay. I know the Facebook is doing something again, and with summer approaching and everything, I know people taking a lot of pictures of photos of their friends and family. I noticed something. I posted 2 pictures that my friend had sent us about me with my kids when they were younger and Rhoda with the kids, and I posted them both thinking they might go up together. You know what happened? All my pictures all of a sudden appeared there. All of them.
Yeah. So Facebook has realized, well, first of all, a couple of years ago, they purchased Instagram, and Instagram is another company that's all about photography. That's pretty much all it is. You can write a very short snippet, but it's all about the photos. Facebook has understood that this is what people want to see. This is what people are interested in. So now they've got, first of all, you're aware of the feature where you can tag. So you post a picture up to your Facebook, and then somebody else who's in it, you can tag them if they're on Facebook as well.
How do you do that?
You just click on their picture. You click on their face, and Facebook automatically recognizes who they are. It says, oh, is this Alan Stock? And you say yes. Or if it doesn't recognize, you're actually helping to teach Facebook who these faces are by typing in the name, as long as that other person is on Facebook already. So the new thing that's coming out is it's available right now. You can download this in the App Store. They have what's called the Moments app. And it is, again, all about photography. And you can automatically sync all the photos in your phone up to Facebook. It will organize them, categorize them into events. It'll figure out if you're, out on a bike ride, and it might title a particular album and say that bike ride. But it'll also figure out everybody who's in that photo with you, assuming that they're on Facebook as well. And then it'll make the sharing available to them so they can access the photos. Now, what Facebook is saying is that this is a neat feature because now you no longer have to pass around 3 or 4 different phones and everybody has to take their own picture and then take it home with them. Now the one photo that's on the internet is going to be available to everyone. So it's kind of cool. But of course, with all new technology, there are privacy and security implications. One of those is really just the basic understanding of is this face print technology a good thing? Do we want all this technology to be able to know who we are at a glance?
Well, I noticed that the other day, again, when I post these pictures, I'm looking at them right now, by the way. There's Rhoda with the kids and me with the kids going back about 22 years or so. But when we posted it, all my other pictures came up for a bit. Now, I just went on my Facebook page right now, and they're not. Just those 2 pictures are posted. But for a little bit, they had all my pictures up there, and I couldn't figure out why. Because I don't have that app.
Yeah, so, Facebook wants to share your data. We know this. We know that Facebook constantly is opening up the privacy settings. They do things first and ask, forgiveness later. So Facebook,
like you too.
That's right. So Facebook is doing this again. But Facebook isn't the only one that's interested in this face print technology. Microsoft's been working on it for a long time. Google, as you know, casinos here in Las Vegas, they want to know who's walking into their casino hall. So, it's all about technology moving forward. And, one of the questions is, if we're posting all of our photos up to Facebook and Moments identifies what that moment was. Mm-hmm. What if that moment is everybody at a strip club, and then one of the people in that photo doesn't want the word to get out that they were at a strip club? I mean, that's probably not such a good thing. You've got to be careful about this technology. You've got to pay attention to your privacy settings and make sure that you're not leaving it up to Facebook to make the decision for you.
Or we could all live in cocoons and not go out and do anything at all.
Hey, you're making a good argument there.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the option, though. All right, I've got Kevin Richards here with me with Ventura Web Design. By way of disclosure, of course, they created the AlanStock.com page, which is a great page, and you can check that out. And Kevin will be here in just a few moments with some more information, including how would you like to be taxed for everything that goes on online? Well, we're going to find out about that in just a moment. Just hold on to your wallet. Politicians are at it again, and there's something going on about wanting to tax all online purchases or something. What is this?
Well, it's been tried before. The previous name was the Marketplace Fairness Act. The name of the day is, it's actually being put forward by a Utah representative, and the bill they're trying to put forward is the Remote Transactions Parity Act of 2015. And it's interesting because what they want to do is give all 50 states the ability to audit individual small businesses that are, say, operating here in Nevada. You could get an audit from New York. You can get an audit from California, which I've been audited from California simply because my name is Ventura Web Design. And you didn't know that one, did you?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. They basically, the problem here is you can't have a retailer be subject to audits from states and entities where they don't have a presence. And that's what it's all about. The Supreme Court has said if you don't have a presence in a state, then that state cannot expect you to collect sales tax for them. And so right now, if you're a retailer in Nevada and you ship to California and your only location is in Nevada, you do not collect sales tax. You put it on the person who's purchasing from you to remit that sales tax to California.
Wait. I get taxed when I buy things from Amazon, though.
Well, that's different because Amazon has a location here. They have a location in Nevada.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
So, and again, this is, the camel's nose is getting in under the tent. In the first year, they're saying, oh, no, it's not going to affect retailers who make less than $10 million a year. Those big guys making $10 million a year, they can figure it out. They can put the technology behind it. They can make it happen. Oh, but wait. In year 2, it then affects people making $5 million. And that's gross, by the way. That's your net. That's your total. I'm saying it backwards. It's your gross. It's your
gross.
Everything you make.
Before you pay everything, all your expenses.
It's your total that you bring in, top line. It's
Which means, your net could be literally $1,000.
That's exactly right, because your margins in retail are razor thin. And then, of course, the third year, then it comes back down to $1 million. And let me tell you, as a former small business retail store owner, it is very easy to get over $1 million. If you're selling
and gross.
Exactly, and gross. And what you end up with at the end of that is definitely not $1 million. So the politicians, they're very excited about getting access to all this money that's out there, and they want to make sure.
Why am I not surprised?
They want to make sure they can, collect it. So that's what's all about. So it's the Remote Transactions Parity Act of 2015. eBay is getting out there and saying, you know what, this is completely discriminatory against small businesses that operate online. It's holding them to an entirely different and more complicated tax scheme. Your Best Buy that's down the street, they aren't responsible for reporting to Florida if their locations here in Nevada. But if you're a small retailer, suddenly you have 50 different jurisdictions who are going to want to audit you.
Is this going to pass?
Ooh, I don't have a crystal ball. I certainly hope not. I think it's bad for technology. I think it's bad for business. I think politicians need to stay out of the internet as much as possible and keep it open and free, because that's how it became amazing in the first place.
They had to stay out of my wallet anyway. I mean, that's another story.
That's true.
I know Google is doing something new. They started quoting some content without listing the relevant sources. What impact does this have?
This is another camel's nose under the tent situation.
Those camels.
Google is trying to, they're testing this out. They're seeing what the reaction is. Google has historically been a company that categorizes and indexes the world's data, makes it easily searchable, gets you onto their website to find the answer that you want, and it'll even try to predict the question and the answer before you even ask it. That's great technology. But now what they're doing is they are taking all their data that they have from all these websites, and they're displaying the answer to you right in front of you. You no longer have to go to that website. So if there's great content at allenstock.com, now this isn't happening to you yet, by the way. This is just starting out. So, but the long end of this is, if there's content on your website and somebody asks a question that's relevant to the content, and Google can figure out the answer to that content, it's going to show the answer rather than send them off to your website.
So in other words, if I have on my website the answer to the question of life itself, life and death, I have the answer to it, and somebody Google says, what's the answer to life and death? And they went and they stole it from me, and they put it up like they're going to present it. They're going to plagiarize me.
That's exactly right. That's a huge problem. And, again, it's all about trying to provide great, relevant information, but it's also about keeping you on Google. Google's mission has changed.
Now, is it legal to plagiarize on that level?
Oh, I'm not an attorney. You've got great attorneys you can bring in here who can tell you that answer. And Google has crossed the line several times before, and they've ended up in court for many years, and they've had solutions to those issues. And usually the solution is the content owners end up giving up
Because Google's got money and the time.
Google's huge.
It still doesn't sound kosher to me.
I don't think it is either, and that's why we're bringing it up today on your show. It's huge news. It's one little step in that direction that we shouldn't be going. You, as a content producer, should have your rights protected. And if somebody wants to hear what Alan Stock has to say, they need to go to alanstock.com.
One small step for Google, one large step for mechanization and robots and all the other stuff.
It's absolutely true.
My gosh. All right. Let's talk briefly about, we don't talk about video games. I get that. But I know that Nintendo's coming out with some breaking news. And even though I'm not interested, some people are.
There are tons of people interested in video games. And as far as tech news goes, it's amazing the amount of money that goes into video games and who's playing them. My generation, we grew up with Atari. And so now you've got, 35-year-old guys who spend hours and hours a day playing video games. So
I used to do Pong.
Yep, I did as well. Okay. And so the interesting thing is with Nintendo, they're really famous for their Super Mario Brothers franchise. And so here's a really cool thing that's coming out. It's called Super Mario Maker. And it's available, I believe, in September. They're going to be releasing it. Basically, you're going to be able to make your own Super Mario Brothers levels. I don't know, did you play with Super Mario Brothers with the girls at all?
None at all, no.
All right. So Super Mario Brothers is very cool. My kids get it. They play it. They love it. So now we're going to be able to make our own things. And what's unique about this is they're demoing it here in Las Vegas this Saturday.
Where's that?
So it's going to be at the Best Buy at Charleston and 215. I actually didn't want to bring this, and I actually didn't want to actually say this on the air because now it's going to be full, and I'll have a hard time getting.
It's out near Costco out there.
It's right next to the Costco, but it's at the Best Buy right there. And so you're gonna be able to play right here in Las Vegas this brand new game as long as time permits and the line isn't too long. You'll be able to get in there and do it.
Now that we mentioned it, it's going to be a long line.
I know, I ruined it for myself.
Real quickly, Apple Watch, what's the latest on it?
Yeah, so I don't know if this signals a slowdown or not, but it's shortly going to be available for in-store pickup. Right now, you can get it pretty easily. You make a reservation for what you want to purchase, and you can get it same day. That's a change. It used to be a couple days, couple weeks. Now the availability is much higher, and in a couple weeks, we're predicting that you're going to be able to walk into that store and just pick it up without the online reservation.
They tease you at the beginning. See, that's the deal. They want to get you one, and then eventually they get it in. And everybody wants it.
Well, and they're trying to get away from those long lines. I don't think we're going to see those really long Apple lines ever again.
Kevin Richards with the Ventura Web Design. You want to find out more about Ventura Web Design, go to alanstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you will see the Ventura Web Design logo. Click onto that. You'll be in touch with Ventura Web Design and Kevin Richards and get all their expertise. And they know what they're doing because you'll see the Alan Stock page and go, that looks very cool, man. They did a good job. Thank you for coming. We'll do it again next week.
Hey, thank you. See you then.
Next week.
Hey, thank you. See you then.
Next week.